State gang, the mob, true simple. We in too deep.
Okay, and feel free to be just as candid and honest as you want to be. You know, you can tell me go to hell if you want to. You know, so, you know, I'm that type of guy. My chat, my audience. Please, y'all, show it. Please gift the guest. Please gift the guest, y'all. Please gift the guest. Please do not send any cash apps to the host. I know y'all love blessing me, and I appreciate it. Please send all cash apps, all blessings, all gifts. Please send those to the guests. Please send those to the guests, y'all. Please do not gift the host. I appreciate it, but please make sure all gifts and blessings go to the guests. I appreciate that. Thank y'all so much. Send all gifts and blessings to the guests. So let me do this real quick, because we're gonna make sure that your safe stays respectful as well. Hang tight. Okay, there we go. So share the live, y'all. How many shares you got over there? How many shares do y'all see? How many shares do y'all see?
I was about to say, don't ask me, because I am terrible with knowing what to look at on TikTok.
How long have you been on TikTok?
Oh my God. It was like a very short while. Not even Nicole would probably know. Not even a year. I don't even think 6 months. Really? Like, if that, really?
So, so that's your daughter's mom name is Nicole?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, and how old is your daughter?
She's 2.
She's two. What month?
She'll be 3 in November.
In November. So I have a brother that was born in November. So congratulations. So how does it feel being a new father? Somewhat new. It's your first, it's your only child, right? It's your only child, right? Yeah. So it's a new father. You're a new father. So how's life being a new father?
I mean, every day is new. I'll definitely say that. Kids kind of, at least mine anyway, she exposes what I still need to work on. So I'm bad at traversing being upset. So with her, though, it's a reality check, because I can't respond a certain way or act a certain way because she can see me, or she'll absorb that moment. So I find myself catching myself now when I'm upset to try to not do it in front of her, but I also acknowledge, dang, I still gotta work on not having that moment altogether. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's my first step in it, is at least to, you know, when it comes to mental health, which I know is something we're gonna touch on a lot more, but at least being aware. Like, I'm not always perfect and catching myself right away, but just being aware of those moments nonetheless. But I don't know, I've had a lot of fun being a dad. Like, for anybody and everybody that says that it's rewarding, I mean, it is if you allow it to be. You know, putting Sinai into the daycare that we wanted to, and we could afford to do it, and that meant something to me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, every week that daycare payment come out my bank account, I ain't missed a beat. And my rent due every month, I don't miss a beat. Car note, car insurance, I don't miss a beat. And
it's a lot of work, huh?
Man, so it's like, you know, that part about being a dad, like making sure I have the intangibles down, because Sanaa needs the electricity to work. She needs the water to work. There's supposed to be food in the refrigerator. And I'm not supposed to get a gold star for those things. She's supposed to have that. You know what I mean? Like, some things, sure, I want to buy her a pair of Jordans. I don't wear Jordans, but sure, I wanted to buy my baby a pair of Jordans. You know, so it's like, that's rewarding to me, though. You know what I mean?
You plan on getting married? Have you thought? Well, have you thought? I ain't gonna say you planned on it,
I've,
but have you
I've
thought?
given, I have given thought to it. It's funny, Nicole and I do talk about it, and we did having the baby. We did everything out of order. So
It happens.
yeah, but I think that. Hold on one second. Hey, babe, I know you're watching the live, but can you please turn the AC off? Because your boy is cold in the closet now.
You got like R. Kelly trapped in the closet.
Man, it's freezing in here now. I'm over here like low key, and I done closed all the other vents, so I'm
Yeah,
in here
you trapped
cold.
in the closet.
So, but no, just we talk about it, but I don't want, and I think we're both on the same page as far as if forever is a long time. So a piece of paper doesn't necessarily define our forever. But I understand that the world is a thing and life is a thing and women.
Well, I guarantee you one thing. She don't think of that.
No, that's exactly, bro. That's exactly what I'm saying. She's not on any of like.
She try to hear that shit.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? But we find a happy medium in that. We're very big on dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So we're aware of that moment. You know what I mean? But
How long have y'all been together? How long have y'all known each other?
about 4 years now, I think. 4 years. So
y'all had a little bit of time alone before the baby came.
but it was very brief. Like, it was very, very brief. When Nicole and I met, I didn't really have it all together at all, like to any capacity. I was a bum to the fullest extent of the word. If Sinai brought me home, I would have pulled my daughter to the side and been
I'm glad you. That's a level of accountability that I wasn't expecting to hear from you right now. I'm just keeping it above. I'm a real candid guy. This conversation is getting ready to evolve. I promise you. And that was very candid. And it was a level of accountability I wasn't expecting. So you kind of threw me through a loop. So you were struggling at the time. You were pretty much struggling at the time that your daughter was born.
No. So when I met Nicole, I was, if you looked at the definition of bum, it was a picture of me.
Oh, so when you were her mom, met her mom, you were struggling.
No. Okay, so when I met Nicole, I'll walk you through it. So when I met Nicole, I was bumming it.
Okay.
But not too long after I met Nicole, my living situation fell apart. Right before it got bad, I got 2 jobs and got my own apartment within like 2 weeks. So I attribute that to a couple of things. I had been homeless before. So
I've been homeless before too.
I know
So
what it's like.
look, the lesson is in the struggle. The lesson is in the struggle, and so I too have been homeless. You know, I know how it feels to wonder how you're gonna make it from day to day, or how with the next meals. Believe me, I've been there. I've been to the shelter where I was in a shelter, the Jewish Family Center. I can't remember what it's called. They have different homeless shelters that they have, whatever. So I can identify. I'm telling you, man, there's so much about your story that I'm telling you. That's why as this conversation progresses, my opinion of it is kind of fixed because I know the end game. I know the end game. How old are you now?
33.
I just turned 50. I got a son almost your age. So again, my conversation with you is going to be a lot like I would if my son. I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm very close to my kids. As a matter of fact, one of my daughters is a mod on my page, and she's in the comments right now.
Okay.
So when it comes to parents and kids, I'm very cemented in my opinion about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. So how long Has Nicole met your mom?
Hmm? You the same way that I see other celebrities. And what I mean by that is sometimes a person can be so famous, like for example, Patrick Mahomes is so famous, his brother is so famous. That's what I mean. You see what I'm saying? Like some people are that famous. Michael Jackson was so famous, his kids were famous, and they didn't even do anything. Monique is not that famous, that her children are famous. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say I'm not famous. Bro, when I promise you, Kev, when I made that video, that first video, the main reason too I didn't think it was going to do anything is because I was just providing context to what was already being said. I didn't add anything new. All I did was, there are years of interviews and articles where I am being addressed. The only reason why I said something that day was because now there's a lie being told and I am someone's father. I'm not just me.
What is the lie? What do you think that the lie was told?
It wasn't a thought. The lie that was being told was, I pray to the universe for my son and I to come together.
You don't think that's true?
That's a lie.
Okay, slow down for me. Slow down for me. And because that's one of the things that, because again, I'm about to play some. As a matter of fact, let me play this because the top of this video actually addresses that. So let me play this.
I am Shalon. I am a stand-up comedian, Monique's oldest son. I guess I felt the need to make this video to just provide some context into this false narrative about her praying to the universe in order to reconcile our relationship or whatever the hell it is.
Okay, that's the part, because you said it initially in the beginning of the video. I don't think that was a fair assessment. So before I expound on that, let me get you to explain what you meant by that.
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Oh, my fault. My fault.
Yeah, you relax. Hey, Shalon, relax. I'm telling you, you amongst friends. You amongst men.
So,
we're gonna talk like men. We're gonna talk like men.
Said it's a false narrative. It is exactly what I said. It's a false narrative, and faith without works is dead. My mother is not the general manager of a Best Buy. She's not a cashier at a Food Lion. No disrespect to those people. She doesn't drive a bus for a living. She has access to resources to show up at my front door within 60 minutes if she wanted to. I'm exaggerating a bit, but you get my point. So to say that, like, for example, did she not just do a show in Raleigh? Charlotte.
Yeah, she did have a show in Charlotte.
If I'm not mistaken, she had a show in Raleigh. Even furthermore, Georgia is nothing but 3 hours. You can't drive. Now, peep game. I'm not asking you to drive that 3 hours for me. That's a misconception. A lot of people focus so much on...
Her schedule might not have allowed it, though.
I don't got time for all that. And here's why I say that. I didn't get a new house. I didn't just get a new balcony put on my house. I didn't go on vacation. I had a child. That's something you fix your schedule for. Now, I understand the game. I get it. I get the game. But I'm 3 hours away from you. Now, to address what you just said, Kev, it's a schedule. Last time I checked, ain't you a blacklisted celebrity though?
Oh, hang tight. Okay, now hang tight. Hold on.
But I'm saying, so when you say, but just to address when you say the schedule, if you're gonna say the schedule, but in the same breath you're blackballed from Hollywood, how busy is a blackballed from Hollywood actress And again,
I don't think that that's fair. Wait, hang tight. I got a couple. You gotta let me gotta let me jump in a little bit.
Mhm.
I don't think that that's fair, right? Because when we started this off, you expressed how difficult parenting has been, how that daycare comes out of your account every week, and you ain't missed a beat. Congratulations on that, because I missed some daycare payments. I ain't gonna lie to you. You pay the rent every month. You ain't missed a beat. Congratulations on that. When my rent been late, I done had to pay some late fees, and might even had a dispossessory and everything. So, yeah. So with that being said, you understand the complexities of parenthood, and even though you're grown, and that's my grandchild, that's your kid. I'm just keeping it a buck. That's your kid. I'm gonna get there, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to meet my grandbaby. But right now, I got stuff to do, and I don't think that it's fair to minimize her obligations simply because she might be blacklisted or blackballed. There are other obligations and other things that she may have going on. As you stated, she had a show in Raleigh,
and that was expressed to me at one point in time, right? When a person has access to resources, the average person can't call Kevin Hart and ask him for money.
That's true.
Can't do that.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
So I get where you coming from though, because we make time. One thing about us as adults with children, we make time for what we want to make time for. So whether I'm working a 9 to 5 or running my own business, if my son got a JV basketball game at motherfucking 3 o'clock, I'm either gonna take off or I'm gonna goddamn get some points off my get here. I'm going to see my son play basketball. so I'm with him on that part. We make time for who we want.
You going to see your son? He's talking about the grandchild.
I'm just saying. I'm saying it don't matter. It don't matter. I'm saying my point is we make time for what.
And look, I get it because I got grandkids. So I'm not speaking from a biased perspective. Well, maybe a little bit, maybe just a little bit, because I have grandchildren. So, and I understand the affections that one has for their grandchildren, right? But my kids are not my first obligation.
I get that, but you got to understand though why you feel like that. You got some grandparents that crazy about them goddamn grandkids. Cause I know some grandparents that
I get that.
Yeah, make their kids like they damn kids. They tell the goddamn mama and daddy what to do with the mom. I know some folks like that. So everybody, I get what your position, cause you're a granddad and you're a hell of a granddaddy. So, but what I get exactly what he's saying though. If you wanted to be a part of that situation, you will make it your business to absolutely be a part of that situation.
See, we like I'm like the devil's advocate of the team.
Me and Ken, we do this shit all the time. I'm a little different.
I'm like the devil's advocate of the team.
I've been married 13 years with one woman, 25 years. So me and Kel, we be going at it a lot of times. I go against what he's saying, he go against. But it is what it is at the end of the day. It's a lot of respect and love over here at the end of the day. That's my brother and my dog.
And that's why, Shalon, that's why I was real candid with you, real open with you when I reached out to you. I said, look, the conversations may get uncomfortable or whatever, but it's all love. Because I really feel like the relationship with you and your mom is not far gone. And the way you talk about it, it's almost, you almost sound like it's irreparable. And I don't see it.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Real quick. I already know your answer, but I'm going to still ask. I already know it, but I'm going to still ask. Has your mom ever gotten up in front of millions of people and called you a nigga and say, fuck you?
Hold up. We ain't got there yet. Hold up.
No. Hold on. But
you're getting ahead of me.
Because you said,
you're getting that. We going because I actually addressed that today. I actually addressed that with my. Okay. So believe me, you getting ahead of me. You getting ahead of me. We're gonna get there. I promise you, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. See, there's a culmination to that. There's a culmination to that. That wasn't that wasn't where it started.
And in 3 of those videos, let's call it 25 minutes worth of me talking. Okay? In that, at the very end, Monique and Sydney say, I'm mentally ill. Or I'm having some mental moment.
I addressed that too.
Okay? I don't use profanity, I don't think, in any of the videos.
I do.
I don't think I raised my voice in any of the videos. I didn't bash or expose my mother in any of the videos. Hold on.
I disagree with that.
Hold on. At the end of the third video, I post pictures of my daughter and my family.
I love that. I gotta admit to you, I love that.
Was my son is a nigga and fuck him. Now, hold on, because a lot of people don't have this context. That was not a one-off event. That moment in time was deliberate for me to see. There is another snippet of her opening up, and somebody else in the crowd is recording. You want to know what she started off with saying? So I'm coming through the airport in Atlanta.
Yeah, I heard that.
Video cuts. Well, how convenient. So I'm coming through the airport in Newark, New Jersey. So I've been a nigga and fuck me in a bunch of cities, apparently. Newark, New Jersey, conveniently, everybody and their damn grandmother got their cell phones out. Everybody do. Now, to keep it a band, as the young children say, I'm not sensitive or made out of tissue paper. I'd be naive, Uncle Kev, if I said to you, hey, Uncle Kev, she ain't gonna do no joke. That'd be dumb for me to say to you. I knew that material was gonna happen, but the material wasn't funny. So what happened is the equivalent of Gary Owens, who's, I believe, he's white. Say Gary Owens does a black joke, but it's not funny. Well, the racism in his joke doesn't have any humor to protect what he said. The same rules apply for a mean joke. If you do a fucked up joke and it's not funny, all that remains is the fact that you said some fucked up shit.
Now, see, let me jump in.
Hold on.
Because we gotta kind of, because I'm gonna forget some shit. Look, I got habits, little bro. Little nephew, I got habits, nephew. my short term gone. So work with me, nephew.
Wow, this motherfucker, bro. This nigga off the chain, bro. That nigga said
I got habits. Now, I'm gonna give you that, because when she did that, I actually did a live on that, and I think Monique was dead ass wrong. I would never tell one of my kids, "Fuck you," even though I do think a "fuck you" can apply to your kids.
You bypassing the part. See, when you have 1.6 million followers and you win an Academy Award, you told the world that I was a nigga. You keep trying to make it about fuck me. You told the world that I was a nigga and fuck him. My bills paid on time. My little girl runs to the door when she hear me put that key in that door. And I'm a nigga? Me and my woman figuring out our relationship every day, but I'm a nigga though. My girlfriend's mother and I have a phenomenal relationship, but I'm a nigga though. I ain't never been to jail, ain't never been in handcuffs, but I'm a nigga. To the world? And you got black women holding their phones saying, yeah, fuck that little nigga, yo. Word? You keep trying to make it about the fuck you. She called me a nigga to the world. You said my son is mentally ill.
All right, damn, I want to, Monique, Monique, you making it hard, baby. Monique, you making it hard, Monique.
Okay.
He right.
Talked about, they brought up, again, it wasn't nothing I addressed that they didn't bring up. They brought up my mental health. I am diagnosed bipolar schizophrenic without the delusional symptoms. I don't know what the last part means, but that's what I've been diagnosed with before. So when they brought up me potentially having a mental episode, let's say that's the case, right?
Nephew standing on business.
Let's say that's the case. Let's say that I was having a mental episode when that happened. Okay, let's say we all agree to that. You thought it was an intelligent idea, and let me finish all the way through. You thought it was an intelligent idea to say he mentally ill, he may be having an episode. Let's post private text messages between us and my husband to the world. And to address the text messages really quick, really quick.
Rick, if you don't put that phone on do not.
I said in my video, at the end of the text message that Sydney sent to me, he states, if you don't respond, I understand. What was missing in that screenshot? The end of the damn text message. Celebrities have a way of telling people that y'all are dumb as fuck. And it blows my mind that people will see that shit, ignore what I said, and be like, oh yeah, Monique posted text messages. I bet you $100, Uncle Kev. You can go to her Instagram right now. That text message post is still there. But let me finish my point, though. Let me finish my point. So you post text messages, right?
Monique, you're making it hard, Monique.
Then you go on a stage and call me a nigga and say, fuck me. What if I would have went in my car and blew my fucking brains out?
You can't say that on TikTok.
I'm sorry, TikTok. But what but we having a real conversation.
No, I can dig it. I can dig it.
But what if I did something along those lines?
That's some real shit.
You know what I'm like? There, you know how many celebrity kids have
I didn't think that. I didn't find a lot of humor.
Calling me a nigga, exposing my mental health, saying I'm having an episode, throwing out private conversations between you and I have hyperhidrosis. My hands sweat. It's a crazy insecurity I have. But the world knows that. I had no choice but to lean into mental health because you took that from me. You just told the world I'm having a mental health episode. Well, shit, I'm not dumb. So now let me play the game. So you're right, I do have mental health. And they say the stereotype of a black man on mental health, he loud and he's all these things. But that's crazy though, because in them 3 videos I didn't cuss at you, I didn't bash you, I didn't do none of that. I'm not yelling.
That's why I said it, that's what I forgot. That's what I wanted to say a second ago. Remember in the beginning, when we were talking, and I said, one thing I noticed about your videos is you know exactly what to say. You look, see, he about drowned. He damn near drowned just then, Rick.
Hey, he's smart as a motherfucker though.
No, that's the point that I'm making. In those videos, in the videos,
very intelligent.
You knew exactly. You know how to push buttons. I gather that from you. You know how to get under someone's skin. You know how to get to the marrow. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. You know how to get to the marrow of somebody. And
not the marrow.
Yeah. So now I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Do you think that the second video antagonized that?
No.
I'm just keeping it a buck.
No. The reason why everything was typed out. So the very first video I made, Nicole was asleep. And when I was trying to make the video, I didn't have anything typed at first. So I was just trying to talk. 10 minutes is not a lot of time when you actually got something to say, when you really think about it. So I had something I wanted to say, but I knew that I couldn't just freestyle it because every time I freestyled it, I would get emotional.
I'm glad you explained that because I had a problem with. This is why I wanted to talk to your ugly ass. See, I had a problem with that, with the whole writing it down and reading it because it seemed calculated. It was too methodical for me. Mm-hmm. It was too methodical. It was almost like this. I don't know. It just didn't land well with me. So I'm glad you explained that because I was getting ready to get. Look, I told you getting ahead of me. You're getting ahead of me. Yeah, all right, let me, because
what happened was it had totaled $45,000. What happened, Uncle Kev? The Georgia Department of Revenue had been trying to get in contact with me at 3 different addresses. You want to know what them 3 addresses was?
hers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gave you that mail neither. Hey, I'm just giving it a buck. You would have never seen them letters fucking with me.
Some of those addresses, I too lived with her.
I know.
Now, fast forward, I'm homeless and I'm asking you, can I get access to the money that's legally mine?
I would have told your ass no.
I think that sounds really cool, but you're not Monique. So if I was to get drunk and go home to glory under a bridge, well, that's a headline. So it's funny to be like, no, I wouldn't have done it. But that's the problem with our community. You left me $45,000. I'm a grown-ass man. It's time for me to take my money. So you would rather sit in some bullshit truth that is, I'm toughening my son up. But wait a minute. You the same mother that wasn't interested in being a mother and do the best job you could do. But now you trying to be the same mother that wants to commit. My son got to be homeless?
And if you went there like that, that's the least you can do for the goddamn man.
That's all I'm saying. That's the least you could have did. You could have put me, I didn't ask you for the money.
Listen, hold on. With her being who she is, with her status, you still doing the bare minimum to your son with all that money and all this shit, all the resources that you have as a celebrity. So that's the least you can get a nigga $4,500. Make it 55, goddamn it.
That wasn't 45,000.
It's 45,000. Hold on. Okay.
That ain't no much. See, different levels to this.
No,
shit.
actually, it was 55,000.
It gets worse, in my opinion. With the context.
And you don't outgrow your feelings and your emotions, so you can't put an age on that shit. Just because I'm 44 years old, but I still know my dad ain't shit, and I still understand what I went through as a child.
Did your daddy give you $45,000?
You know, he didn't have to.
Okay, I didn't know that.
My dad ain't a celebrity. My dad ain't no celebrity though.
Did your daddy give you $45,000?
Hold up, my dad.
Ask you about no celebrity.
You can't compare my dad to that.
No. Shalon, he said himself he a regular guy. And that's what you said. Shalon said he a regular guy.
Ask me a question. Then you just ask me a question. Let me answer.
He said he a regular guy.
No, he ain't here, but his mama's not though. We know who Monique.
That's okay.
I call my mama right now and say, you know who Monique, she gonna absolutely know who the hell I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is, you can't compare my broke ass daddy to no Monique. He done built his whole lifestyle off women, back off women, so he ain't never had shit. So you can't compare my, he ain't get a nigga $5.
Look here, you and Shalon ain't for the word me to die. I gotta pour me a drink. Y'all ain't for the word me to die.
I'm just trying to motherfucker tell you that. And money can't buy love either. Money don't replace the time that he needed her and she went motherfucking down. Money don't replace the time when he sat alone in his room asking his dad what the fuck my mom. The money don't mean nothing, bro, if you're not there physically, because at his age, he want that connection. And I bet you, the dime to I bet you $1 to nothing, dollar to a dime. If he got them could do that shit over and get that money back and have a better relationship with his mama, which one you think he gonna pick? Take the money, all that goddamn money that she got, all the fame, and he would take that relationship with his mama. I guarantee you. And I ain't even, Shalon, what would you take? Would you rather have the money or and go back and have that relationship start all over and have a better relationship with you?
Absolutely, yeah. If my mother and I could start all over, absolutely, yeah. But to even give more context to it, so the money had been. It was divvied up. She had some of the money was in liquid cash, and some of the money was, I had a fucking stockbroker with Morgan Stanley. Imagine being a black man, a young black man, and your mother has a stock brokerage account for you, and she hits you with, I don't know what you talking about, and if I did, why would I help you? That shit is corny, bro. That shit corny as fuck. That shit corny. What life lesson do a nigga learn off? Do a person learn off some shit like that? Oh, he getting it out the mud. Gee, that sounds really cool.
Okay, if I got $1 million,
that
No, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question.
Our community, the black community, is the only community that's on that bullshit ass time. Yeah. I left 45 grand from my son. Then he calls me and says, how can I access it? I don't know what you talking about. Now, let's say she forgot, right? Because shit happens, Uncle Kev. She forgot. How you forget that you invested 45 grand into one of your children? Oh, because you're not interested.
Okay, let me ask you. Hold on. Was that rhetorical? Was that rhetorical? You asked me a question.
I'm not saying nothing that ain't already been said, though.
Okay. Let me answer your question.
Sure, yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question. Nephew, let me ask you a question, nephew.
Yes, sir.
That nigga stupid.
Let me ask you a question. And I'm just keeping it a buck. And this is rhetorical. If I got $1 million life insurance policy, when do you get it?
When you die.
Exactly. That's exactly what I meant for that guy. I don't care nothing about it being eligible. I don't care nothing about the eligibilities. I set that up for when you die. You said yourself, had you let it set there longer, a couple more years, it would have been worth even more. What year was that? Just what year was it?
I can't remember, to be honest.
A couple years ago, a year or two ago?
4 years ago, something like that, about 5, 6 years ago, something like that.
4 years ago, if you had to put that money on NVIDIA stock, you'll be a millionaire right now. I agree with the Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, whatever. If they had took that money and put that on NVIDIA, you would be a millionaire right now.
No, it didn't. Here's the thing. Hindsight is 20/20. The money was invested.
No, that's the point. No, let me land my plane. No, let me land my plane.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me land my plane first. The point that I'm making is I would have told my child the same thing. I don't know what you talk about. I don't know nothing about no accounting. I don't know. Let me cook. I would have told my child the same thing, because that's not something that I want you to have access to right now. It's not about me teaching you how to get it out the mud. I just don't want you to have that right now.
I'm an adult.
Obviously, just let me cook for a second. And I believe me, I want to have this dialogue because I'm speaking from the aspect of a parent.
Yes, sir.
So it's not because she's shown the willingness to extend herself. She with the down payment on the car, the money she gave you that Kevin Hart gave her, and all that stuff. She's shown a willingness to extend herself. I just don't want you to have that, because that's something I put away for you to have when I leave this earth. And I don't want you to. I'm willing to help you if you need this, that, and the other. I'll send you a few dollars, blah 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 blah. But I don't want you touching that. I don't blame her. I would have told you the same thing. I would have told my son the same thing. I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm not giving you access to nothing. Find it yourself. Get it like the Red Cross. Bye.
UTMA.
Hold on. You saying something then, though. If you need help and you going through some shit, okay, we're going to leave that money right there. But here's this to help you get an apartment, a place to stay while you going through. That's different, though. She didn't do that. He said she didn't do that, though.
So, no, my mother has helped me. When I lived in Georgia and I was working on the Monique show, I had an apartment that my mom was paying for. When I was living in Charlotte, the first apartment I had was a college, it was like a college apartment where you have like 3 other roommates. I was the only one of us not in college, but that's where I live.
I know what you're talking about.
The one thing I think is interesting is, so it's a UTMA. It stands for Universal Transfer to Minors Act. Not when your mother dies, that's when you get the money act. It's when the child is an adult. It's not money. It's when I'm an adult. So you even playing me like this is low key. I'm not gonna say it's illegal, but it's foul because the money is legally mine. I know about the money because they sent me tax information with it in my tax information. You didn't get it in your taxes. Why? Because the money ain't legally yours. It's legally mine. That was why the Georgia Department of Revenue, Uncle Kev,
hey, my chat is loving this shit.
He right though. He probably this shit. That nigga be.
You didn't curse, raise your voice, or actually come at your mother. Come on, son. She weak all of a sudden now, but she got a daddy though. She got it. Who was next to me in any of my videos, Uncle Kev?
Wait. No.
To me.
Oh, okay. That's subjective, right? That's subjective, right? Because you know what somebody I don't care say about me don't resonate with me like somebody that does, and kind of like with the whole "she called you nigger on stage" kind of thing. How if somebody else, a stranger, could go and call you a nigger, you wouldn't give two motherfucking shits. But because it was Monique, it resonates with you more. It stings a little bit. It feels a little worse. So it's the same. It's the same inference. You can't. What applies to them applies to me too, and I can't make somebody else take accountability for something they might have done. But the only thing that I can do is realize what I could have done differently to make the situation turn out differently. And I get what you do. But let me cook.
I'm sorry.
Because I get the whole. I'm telling you, I'm very unbiased in this. I wish I could have this same conversation with Monique, because I understand your feeling of emptiness and like nobody was paying attention to you and nobody, like, you just was there. I had to attach myself to other families that outside of my household that resembled what I wanted. You know, my best friend had the mama and the stepdad in the house and the brothers and sisters in the house, and at my house for Christmas, I would have gifts under their tree. I wouldn't even have no Christmas gifts at home. I wouldn't even have no Christmas gifts at home. But the families that were outside of my household, they had Christmas gifts for me under their tree, which made me feel like I was part of something. That made me feel like somebody actually loved me and was paying attention to me and cared about how I felt on Christmas. And it just gave me the feeling that I wish I had at home. So I get where you're coming from. But in order for me to be a different man, because you're gonna be older a whole lot longer than you're gonna be younger. So right. And I can't attribute who I evolved to be based off of who I used to be. See, who I used to be only was a contribution. It wasn't the catalyst. And so what you went through with Monique and that's not the catalyst. It was just a contribution to who Shalom is going to turn out to.
But I agree with that. My issue is not that, though. Like, I was fully aware. It didn't take me very long to understand my place. Hollywood has a way of doing that too. When you're the child of somebody that's famous, it does a very good job of letting you know.
Yourself, don't nobody know you.
Right.
You said
but
that.
In the moment, but when you're a child, as a child, see, there's so many things I feel like that get overlooked. When the firstborn son is a mama's boy, more often than not.
So do you feel like you were a mama's boy?
I'm the firstborn son.
Do you feel like you were?
A boy's first love, more often than not, will be his mother. More often than not, a boy's first love will be his mother. So imagine falling in love with your mother. But she appreciates the love and admiration from total strangers, which I get, right? Because, hold on, Uncle Kev, hold on, which I get. But what then begins to happen is when I become an adult and we sit down and have conversations, and you say passively, well, I wasn't interested in being a mother. Okay, well, when did you become interested in being my damn mother? Okay. I didn't do the best job I could do at being your mother. Well, when are you going to start doing the best damn job at being my mother? I get it. Life is hard. Tough shit. You got married 3 times. You're a millionaire and you got a daddy. You got more resources than I could ever have. She got more resources than I could ever have. So when you say reconcile, the impact and the inspiration of this person, there are one thing, like, I'm hiding. But
so you talking about when D.L. Hughley?
Yeah, when D.L. Hughley talked, when he said something about my mom. He said something about my mother, and what he said was he hints at me, but it's very broad. It's super broad. But the only way you know it's me is if you know my mother. Well, I know my mother, so I knew that he was talking about me.
No, it wasn't that broad because
here's why I say it was broad, because in the second video he got specific and he said, treat my children the way that you treat yours. like you don't know them, as if they're unfamiliar, as if they are estranged.
That was the second video.
That was the second video. He's literally talking about me.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was literally talking about me, but nobody touched on that. And I was okay with that, but
I'm telling you, I've been following this whole saga from D.L. Hughley down to you. And I did a commentary on the D.L. Hughley. I think D.L. Hughley was totally out of line. I don't think that he, the situation that happened with his daughter, nobody would know anything about that if D.L. Hughley did not bring that up. Nobody knew.
I agree with you on that. I don't believe in the idea that just because somebody talks publicly about something always gives someone else the entitlement that they too can speak on something publicly.
Yeah, no, but what I was getting at is, so it was retaliatory because she commented on what he brought out, and so what she did, what D.L. Hughley was doing, it was simply retaliating by bringing up Monique. I think in my eyes, Monique had more grounds to comment because everybody was commenting on that at the time. Everybody was talking about that at the time.
But even then, like the approach to it, the solution was so simple. The solution was so simple.
What do you like about your mom? What do you like about your mom?
To me, there was a time in which, and I want to make sure I say this properly. Before my mother lost weight, she was loud. My mother was fun. I don't really know how to explain it. My cousin and I were talking about it the other day. My mother didn't become a celebrity until Sydney. My mother was not bougie. She wasn't famous. At least to me, I even got introduced to Monique at times with the apostrophe. I got introduced to that at times. I can remember moments where that was kind of put into my face. So she was, I think somebody said it, she was herself. But to be fair, who am I to say that the person she is now is not herself? That's not fair of me to say that of her. I just know that there was a time in my life where I did enjoy the company of my mom. Yeah, it may have been kind of around the time when she, like pre-fame, maybe, and then kind of in the early stages. But superstardom, the one thing I will be fair to my mother about, a lot of parents can't relate to how hard it is to maneuver through Hollywood with a child. But shout out to the parents who maneuver through Hollywood with their children that are interested in being that child's parent.
See, and that's the part I take issue. You said something, Rick?
No, go ahead.
That's the part I take issue with, right? And because it draws a line in between it. You can only be a good parent if you behave like this. You're only a good parent. You're only a caring parent. You're only a doting parent. You're only a responsible parent if you behave like this. And it's not always that easy. And for you said yourself that she wasn't a celebrity before Sydney. So that means that Sydney adds value to her life.
No, what I mean by that is, I mean that metaphorically speaking. I don't have a beef with Sydney, but from a man perspective, my mother was my mother before he ever was in the picture.
God damn it, you better quit saying stuff that's true.
And so when Sydney had addressed my manhood, how you speak to a woman or being a man, here was what bothered me about that. Well, and again, I'm addressing what was said. I'm not making nothing up, okay? Y'all openly
You got the flow, bro. You got the flow.
Y'all openly admitted to borrowing money from Kevin Hart. Well, last time I checked, Sydney a man. You got a man in your house.
Oh shit.
You got a man in your house and you call him daddy though. So how the man in your house, his brightest idea was to ask another man for some money?
Have you ever asked your mom for money?
Have I ever asked my mother for money? Sure, I'm pretty sure I've asked her for some money before.
Aren't you the man of your house?
To address it, because you want to
I'm
bring
just
up.
keeping it up.
I got you. You want to bring up the $10,000 that
I ain't got there yet.
I'm there. We there.
Well, fuck it. Let's go there and fuck it.
We there. So, have you seen The Wire? You've never seen The Wire, the TV show The Wire? So there's a character named Naaman in The Wire. And there's this scene where he accepted money from this dude. And one of his homeboys says something about why he accepted the money. And Naaman's words were, "I'd take any nigga money, he giving it away." You giving it away? Okay. To further provide context, when Nicole and I were talking originally about getting the car, me and her we made a decision that we were going to get a car. We were going to put our money together in a savings account, get a down payment on a car, and get a car. My mother and Sydney called and said, "Hey, we're going to give y'all $5,000 as a down payment on a car."
Well, how did that conversation? Because it didn't just come out.
No. So you think it's details to it? No. That's
it didn't. That wasn't no out of the blue. There had to have been a conversation that took place that let them know that